What's up, y'all? Dante's here. We're out here somewhere where it's safe for Dante right here to be off lead. So he's just here. I've got a rope hanging down from the side of my hip. Okay. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. This is our main side, one of our fourths where we discuss the anatomy of the human body in depth. We allow the body to work. That's really our slogan, allowing the body to work. In the Image Clothing Company, yes. Anything that clothes the human being is clothing. Even glasses or jewelry, anything placed onto the body is placed onto the body. Okay, there's nothing placed onto Dante's body right now. The goal is natural on all four sides of In the Image Clothing Company. Natural, neutral, and normal are synonyms within the functionality of things. Okay? Today is the 29th of December, 2025. What I'm showing here, this video's title on In the Image Clothing Company's main side here by yours truly, okay, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. The right foot and the hip. And so what's really cool is this rope, okay? You'll see why for the sake of the visuals. I love to show the visuals. I love to discuss the anatomy of the body as well as showing it. Anyone can sit there and read to you from a book and tell you how it works if they think they know because they think they know. But can we know from personal experience? Can we know firsthand? Can we know the truth, okay? In the image of God is how our bodies are designed. In the Image Clothing Company, there you go. Our 5-word name that's really kind of one word. There's no spaces between the 5 words. In the Image Clothing Company. We're designed in the image of God. God had to first look like us for us to be designed in his image. There's only one way the human body could ever work. No opinion, no new information. It's been the same since God. It's been the same for all the humans ever and continuing forth. God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. There's only truth to life. That's a lot of what we do under In the Image Clothing Company is just get down to the truth. We've got 4 distinct sides to us, and we're just geared around the gospel of Jesus Christ in all the things that we do, okay? My nose might be dripping throughout this. It's somewhere right around 30 degrees Fahrenheit out here. It doesn't seem all that cold, though, which is great. I am not a fan of the cold temperature. Okay, we live up Utah, as in the Image Clothing Company, Dante and I, currently, or who are doing it, as in the Image Clothing Company's team so far. It's Dante and I, okay? We do a lot under the gift of video, a lot in nature, a lot with church history in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Utah, okay, this beautiful state of Utah in the United States of America. Let's talk about this. We live in a right-handed world, okay? The human body has a center line, but 85%, give or take, of human beings are right-handed. Products are designed to be used with the right hand if they're designed to be used the majority of the time with one hand over the other, okay? Clothing patterns to themselves are right-handed in ways, and then we've just got people using their right hands more than their left. What we discuss in this video, if you are left-handed, despite just being in the right-handed world and the things you're interacting with are right-hand designs, within your own personal body, a lot of this would be just exactly flipped as far as patterning goes if you are left-handed, okay, in the ways that it would be. There's your context going forth through this video. Dante laid down. Good boy. And then he stood up right when I said that. You good boy. Come here, boy. Let's say hi to the people so they know that you're actually here. This is Dante, my standard poodle. Good boy. Okay. In the Image Clothing Company Poodles is 1/4 of In the Image Clothing Company. We specialize in purebred standard poodles. We give information that applies to all dogs on letting dogs stay natural. The same thing as allowing the body to work for us human beings. Our information actually would apply to just about all animals across the earth as well on letting dogs stay natural through In the Image Clothing Company Poodles, one of our 4ths under In the Image Clothing Company, okay? There's a lot that comes with it, but things like collars, leashes, harnesses placed onto the dogs, there's only one centered position We talk about a lot of things here under In the Image Clothing Company. Let's get into discussing this, and then we'll discuss more of whatever else we do throughout this, where we do, if we do. Okay. We have rotations in the body. The body's just a mechanical machine placed onto a rock in space. It's no kind of claim. I just know that it's interesting to hear. I know that it sounds crazy. I do know personally that it sounds crazy to say there's only one way the human body could ever work. It's kind of sounding probably like, well, why isn't yours working? You know, what's wrong with you? Well, we just don't know what we don't know. We can't be held accountable for what we don't know. I didn't know most all of what I do as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company until just a couple of years ago from today's date. Until I was around 24, and I'm 26, you know, today. Not that today is my birthday, but just, you know, today's one of the days in the 365 of the year of my 26th. Okay, so there's only one way the body could work, though. Truly, there's a center line. The sternum, the spine, the trachea, the nose, and our jaw. The jaw stabilizes the entire body. We put a lot of focus and intentionality on the jaw for the animals as well. You know, feeding dogs at the height of their sternum, rather than them getting down all the way to the ground, you know, like this. In nature, dogs would be ripping flesh off animals and be eating actually at head height, you know, and then just standing there and chewing as they're like looking out over the horizon. We live in this modern man-made world. It's unnatural. It's placed onto God's natural earth, okay? There's only one way that anything can really work. I mean, God designed all this. It just does what it does. We've got so many things that are new in modern day that didn't even exist just decades ago from today's date, tens of years back, okay? Stretch within clothing that goes the opposite direction of the only way that muscles could ever work. The Human Body Only Pulls is a video title here under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company. It's also just the case. Muscles just connect to bones through tendons, and they pull the endpoints where they connect together. Even in what seems like a push, we have opposing muscles to a function. So we're pulling muscles together to extend a hinge joint, even if part of our body is going farther away from our center line, okay? Staying in your center line, a video Dante and I filmed just a couple days ago here under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company, keeping our bodies over Earth's gravity. A video under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company here, filmed down in beautiful St. George, Utah, okay? Once Dante and I move down to St. George, Utah, that's where we will be based for life as In the Image Clothing Company. As of today's date, the 29th of December, 2025, we're in Utah County, about 3.5-hour drive north from St. George, Utah. Okay, context, because a lot of what we are is the gift of video under all four sides of In the Image Clothing Company. And a lot of what we are is living up Utah in all the ways that is what it is, and it is that, yes, okay? So, Dante loves nature. So do I, okay? So that's what we're geared in and around in what we do. Well, really, the goal is natural, right? I mean, that's the point, is there's texture to the ground. The feet oppose the center line and grip arches inward. If there's not texture, like this slippery, unnaturally flat flooring in the houses that we have, okay, tile, hardwood, concrete, whatever it is that's very unnaturally flat. The dogs, they can get things like hip dysplasia, you know. A lot of that's coming from just our modern flooring. Their feet can't grip the ground, and you watch your dog shake, and they're slipping all over the place on your tile. If you see it, you see it. You know, the hardwood, whatever it is, yeah. So this is what we do, as In the Image Clothing Company. We allow the body to work. We let the dog stay natural. We're not about fashion. We're just about the only thing physically placed onto these machines we have. The dogs, or the human body. Clothing truly is the only fix to human beings' physical problems. The physical problems we discuss, at least, under In the Image Clothing Company, it's what I say, right? As obvious as it is once you see it, because how could it not be? We've just got the body having neutrals to everything. The center line is the body's neutral on Earth's center of gravity, okay? Your center of gravity is a video under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company here. So much of what we do as human beings, or animals as well, is just deal with gravity and its pull down on our bodies. We've got a neutral to every function. There can't be a function unless there's two sides to it. You would just go one way and you'd be done moving, but you'd never even move there if there wasn't a place to move from. And then there's another side as well, okay? There's just a neutral. There's opposition in all things, opposing muscles to opposing functions in the body, okay? Rotations. Neutral, okay? Well, this is the thing. There's opposition in all things, not just the mechanical function of the human body. The human body is just mechanics. A video Dante and I filmed about a week ago, give or take. Okay, here on the main side of In the Image Clothing Company, why you can't stretch the body. Another video Dante and I filmed here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company just a few days ago. You can't actually stretch the body. You can't. You stretch to one side of something and there's still another side to it. The body works by stabilizing. The jaw stabilizes the entire body, but everything in the body stabilizes. It is because we have opposing muscles the body can stabilize. So muscles are pulling one direction against the pull of muscles pulling the other direction, and then there's a center to that. It's just like the body standing vertically on Earth, not falling left with Earth's gravity's pull and not falling right with Earth's gravity's pull. There's a center because muscles on each side are only pulling and they're opposing each other. Like the feet opposing the center line, gripping arches inward. Forward and back, you know, the muscles are just pulling and pulling, opposing the center. The human body has bends. The ankles bend backward, the knees bend forward. The hips bend backward, the lower back or the lumbar spine bends forward. The mid back or the thoracic spine bends backward. And then the upper back, which is really the cervical spine, actually our neck, bends forward. We've just got opposition, back, forth, or we wouldn't be vertical. If we just bent back, we'd fall back. If we just bent forward, we'd fall forward. It switches each time we bend. In the body, it switches in activation from front to back. There's only one way the human body could ever work. No possible claim. It's always been this way forever. Okay, so opposition in all things, we discuss this under the gospel of Jesus Christ discussions we have under In the Image Clothing Company podcast. We're on episode 197 as of today's date of In the Image Clothing Company podcast. We just have discussions on the truth of all things. That's what God calls the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it's just the truth of life. There's just an explanation to what life is, because it's the same for everyone. We're all human beings, the same thing, placed on the same earth, designed by one God. There's only one way, it just is what it is. And that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. Okay? So, rotations in the body. Okay, there's a neutral to all of this. All of everything going on is just a mechanical machine. It wouldn't have motion unless it had motion. Mechanical machine is just a machine of motion. Okay, watch this. Okay, there's only one way the human body could ever work. Watch it just for the sake of the visuals. Watch it, brother. Okay, because there's only a function if there's a function. There's rotations. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's only what it is. From the neutral, from the fingertips to the elbow and the forearms, there's two bones here, a radius and an ulna. Okay, rotating. From the neutral, with the thumbs pointing up, with our elbows bent at our natural waist. Okay, keeping elbows at the natural waist. A video under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company here. Okay. We keep our elbows at our natural waist. Now we've got rotations. Internal rotation from the neutral. External rotation from the neutral in those forearms from the fingertips up to the elbow. We've got the entire arm. Internal rotation from the neutral and external rotation from the neutral. In the lower legs, in my Zero Shoes branded Ridgeway model boots, okay, from the foot to the knee, two bones in the lower leg, from the neutral pinky toe straight forward, just like the pinky finger straight forward, okay. Internal rotation from the neutral, external rotation from the neutral in that lower leg. And the entire leg, from the neutral, from the foot to the hip, there's internal rotation, back to the neutral, pinky toe straight forward. And then we've got external rotation and back to the neutral, okay? We have different length toes. There is only one way the feet work. There is only one way the hands work. 2 videos I filmed back to back in St. George, Utah, about a month and a half ago, give or take, from today's date back. There's only one way things work. Bones just connect to bones through ligaments, and then there's a thin layer of cartilage between those bones to not wear them out. Cartilage is just cushioning. And then the muscles just connect to the bones through tendons just to move the body. But it is impossible to train the body to get it to do anything. No new information, no claim. It's the truth. Like the arms hanging down on Earth's gravity. Okay, that's our neutral arm, neutral wrist. I mean, that's the neutral, is just Earth's gravity's pull. You can only rest in between 2 sides of something, and that's the neutral, and that's the center of gravity that always remains. Like we say, how there's no such thing as posture. There's just the body slightly bent in its activation of musculatures and in their range of motion just slightly, okay, to stay stabilizing. Like the animals can't train their bodies to do something. It is physically impossible to train to a neutral. And there has to be a neutral or there'd be no functioning. Because in order for there to be one side, there has to be another side. There's opposition in all things. This is no new information. We just don't know what we don't know, but really what we have is just so much unnatural nowadays. I almost didn't even know how to word that, because I mean, we just have so much unnatural. So we talk about where clothing sits for everyone. Everybody has one, or everyone has a body. You place something man-made on it, there's only one way the body could ever work. The clothing that you design has to work for the only way the body ever could. No opinion, okay? Man, woman, tall, short, skinny, fat, any age, any part of the earth, any time period to ever be, you're just a human being. It doesn't matter. Clothing sits in the same location, we discuss it. Under In the Image Clothing Company. I'm not going to say it quite right here, but we just discuss it. Maybe I'll say it throughout this video somewhere. The foot, the right foot in this right-handed world, and the hip. Okay, the right foot and the hip. The hips are the feet. The shoulders are the hands. The jaw is the shoulder. Okay. There's certain things in the body that are exactly directly something else, and then everything in the body is indirectly everything in the body. Anywhere you go, there you are. Your entire body can only ever work activated as a whole. Everything's there. You can't drag around dead weight. No compensation can happen because everything has its own individual role to play that's different in its functioning entirely than anything else in the body. Okay. If we never alter the body, it would just work. Look at little babies and toddlers and children, and then as we get older, we get into chronic patterning and scar tissue. Things build up in the body, scar tissue, bone spurs, well, really on the right side more than anything else. Okay, because there's just only one way the human body could ever work. And if we design things that we place onto it for it to just carry around and keep off the Earth's gravity pull, you know, as we're just, you know, going through life, then our bodies just won't be working if those things aren't working for the only way the body does. No opinion. I just want to hit that so hard. I mean, you could sit here and talk about whatever you want on how you think you could possibly try to train your body to do something. It's impossible. Universally and undisputedly, it's impossible to train the human body to get it to do anything. We allow God's design of the human being to work. We let God's design of the dogs to work. And if you could see my beautiful little boy Dante right now just looking off into the park over there, laying down here, he's so beautiful, man. I love poodles, that's why I have one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 1/4 of In the Image Clothing Company is about dogs, and we specialize in purebred standard poodles. I love poodles. I love Dante. The right foot in the right-handed world, and the hip. The foot is the hip, the hand is the shoulder, okay? Okay, the foot is the hip, the hand is the shoulder. The jaw is the ear, the jaw is the shoulder. Certain things in the body are just exactly going to be doing what other things in the body are doing. Anywhere your right foot goes, your right hip goes, okay? Okay, anywhere your right foot goes, your right hip goes. We live in a right-handed world, though. Right-handed patternings. We've got rotations, and if we go more external with the right hand, like we're holding something palm up, well, we're just outside of our neutral, and there's internal rotation from there, okay? Internal rotation from the shoulder to the foot. A video Dante and I filmed here under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company. A lot of context there. The body doesn't only get altered from the bottom up on Earth's gravity, but the body can very, very, very much get altered from the top down on Earth's gravity as well. Okay? So, it's just a kinetic chain. It's all connected, the human body. Even when you're dead. It rhymed, and it's just the truth. It's just what it is, and we can see it like that. Once you die, your body's the same thing until it decomposes. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. So the right foot and the right hip, okay, they're going to be doing the exact same thing as each other, but we do live in this patterning as human beings just because we're doing things, if we are, with our right hand. Palm up, for example, that's external rotation. And the body just gets farther away from its center line on the right side. It gets dropped lower with the musculature. And this is happening if we externally rotate. And so now, the whole thing about keeping our bodies over Earth's gravity and your center of gravity and staying in your center line, these videos under the main side of In The Image Clothing Company here about the center line of the body meshing with Earth's centered gravity pull. If we're using something in our right hand off to the side of our bodies, especially palm up, externally rotated with the hand, which is the shoulder, we're just moving our center of gravity off to the right. And we can't keep our feet evenly opposing the center line, gripping arches inward and supporting us if our weight is off to the right from our right hand. So what'll happen is our foot will go off to the outside of our body a little bit to just compensate, to stabilize the weight of something in our right hand, using our right hand, reaching away from us with our right hand. And there's still always a center line. There's still always a center line to the body where the musculature connects. From the outside of the shoulder into the sternum in the front, the pectoral muscles connect and they pull inward, evenly opposing the center line to keep us vertical. In the rear of the body, muscles connect from the shoulders into the center line, like the trapezius muscles and the rhomboids, the latissimus dorsi muscles. All the muscles along the back, there's a lot more muscles on the back of the body than the front of the body, and the shoulders only ever work behind the head. Okay. So, we kind of sit in the back seat of our bodies. We grip arches inward. We've got different length toes. The pinky toes are the shortest. The pinky toes are the outside toes. The foot has to grip from the outside in, otherwise it can't pull in if you don't first start at the outside. Okay. I'm going to reference some videos here, okay? These were filmed down in beautiful St. George, Utah. The feet only work barefooted, keeping heels on the ground. Keeping feet in the outside of shoes. Okay. There you go. 3 videos there under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company here. We've got different length toes. And so as we roll off the ends of our different length toes evenly, the feet just kind of roll in, okay? And then we've got this neutral outward curvature of the lower leg traveling up, allowing that knee to bend straight in line, okay? Allowing the hips to be in their neutral position. The hips have a neutral. From tucking all the way underneath us, posterior, there's neutral. And then from rotating away from us, forward and lower in the front, anterior, okay? There's a neutral to the hips, correlating with the neutral to the feet on the ground, which is the surface of the earth. The importance of zero drop shoes. Always stop laces at ankle flexion. The importance of even ankle flexion. The importance of even Achilles tendon insertions. Some videos here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company about the feet. Before we can ever address the hip, where open hips come from, a video here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company. Where open hips really come from might be the actual title. Well, it's the feet more than anything else in the entire body before you could ever address your hips. So this video's titled, The Right Foot and the Hip. There's only one way the human body could ever work. It starts at its foundation. The feet are hugely important. Shout out to Zero Shoes, the brand. You know, I said that I'm wearing their shoes in this video, but they do a really good job at designing shoes that don't alter the body. Live life feet first, they say, right? Good, yeah, good. Good, yeah, okay, good, they are. They're great, okay, good. The hips, okay, people have tight hips. Why? Well, your feet first, if nothing else. Live life feet first, Zero Shoes says. So this is the thing though, rotations in the hip are coming from the foot. You'll never have rotations in your hips if your feet are altered. If you don't have feet, shoot. Meaning, who cares then to address the feet you don't have? We talk about it like this: amputation, deformity, major surgery, birth defect, whatever it is that sets your body apart a little bit, quite a bit. Anything that's different about you, we're all different in the ways we are. We just have to get as close as we can to the universal human design. There's a universal human design. There's the skeletal system working all together as the kinetic chain that it is on Earth's gravity. So, it's things like prosthetic limbs just to have, weight balances on Earth's gravity. And things like this. We have to do all that we can to do all that we can. Okay. But if you have feet, if your feet are altered, your hips will be altered. Period and done. Your hips are your lower back as much as your hips are your upper legs, because the back comes down and connects to the hips, but then the legs come up and connect to the hips. But really your hips are your toe tips as much as your hips are your fingertips. The human body is only all together. Even the tip of the head is the hips. Okay? The point is, in this right-handed world, our right feet get so altered. Patterning in the feet. A video here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company. And that's what I discussed with the Achilles tendons as well, The importance of even Achilles tendons, that's the big thing, is the right foot's Achilles tendon often gets really bound up with scar tissue. That's that tendon on the rear of the lower leg that connects into the foot from the knee joint. Okay? The calf muscle on the rear of the lower leg connects to the heel of the foot through the Achilles tendon. Okay, muscles connect to bones through tendons. So, the surface of the earth is the neutral from pointing the toes to lifting the toes. Okay, plantar flexion versus dorsiflexion. The surface of the earth, or the term zero drop in any shoe design. Okay. The only way the human body could and just would ever work with its feet flat on the ground, okay? There's just a neutral, okay? And it's the surface of the planet we all live on if you're here on Earth with the rest of us. That was not meant to be like an insult. It sounded like it was. No, that's just what I'm saying is we're all on the same earth. we all have the same neutral to our feet. This is what I mean by this universal truth that will never change, and nothing I could have ever decided or could ever take credit for as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, in this for life as the leader of what we really do here, letting dogs stay natural, allowing the body to work, In the Image Clothing Company. There's 4 sides to us. There's only one way, and it's nothing to do with me. That's the point. That's how I can get so bold about it, and it doesn't matter, right? It's not like I'm worked up on something that I just have such a strong opinion on. There's only truth to life, okay? And I couldn't decide it, and I sure didn't, okay? It wouldn't work the way it does if I tried to decide it. We didn't design it. We can't decide how it works. And so this neutral, what we're doing is just rolling evenly off the end of our different length toes. Down in St. George, Utah, about a month and a half ago, I filmed a video here under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company titled, however it's exactly titled, You Do Not Have Different Length Legs. You know, people think they have a leg length discrepancy, but really what they have is twisted hips. Okay, and really that's coming from your feet or your hips. It can be coming from your shoulders down as well, okay, or your jaw being imbalanced, stabilizing your entire body, or your hand being altered that then goes to your shoulder, which is your jaw, which stabilizes your entire body down to your foot, and between there somewhere is the hips, and so now you think you have different length legs when really you just have a twist in your body. We live in twists if your body's not working, okay? Because the body has rotations. And so if they're not evenly in their neutral, then the body's just damaged chronically, okay? Just meaning life lasting until fixed or addressed or, you know, something. There's only one way the human body could ever work. Nobody could ever have a possible opinion on it. Ever. Nobody could ever train it to do anything. Ever. I don't care who's gone to what kind of school. Ever. And it echoes through the whole canyon here. I'm in a canyon here. It's the truth. It's not my choice, okay? It's impossible, though. Workouts and stretches and whatever. No, it's literally impossible. That's why you keep doing it. You'll never get enough of what's not for you. You allow your body to work in your own individualistic situation. There you go. That's all it will ever do. What it was designed to do. You'll never train it. Never. It's impossible. Once you stop doing your workouts, all the benefit that you thought you gained goes away right after, unless you keep doing it. You're just trying to get your body to do something it won't. There's no opinion to that. Period. At all. This is me pointing fingers, truly, because it's false information. If somebody's trying to get you to train your body, it's impossible. Gravity, bro. Gravity, dude. Neutrals, bro. Neutrals, dude. There's only one way the human body could ever work. Look at my shoulders. Look at my shoulders correlating with the elbows of the natural waist because they're connected through an immovable bone, the humerus or the upper arm bone. Okay? Pivoting on this collarbone or clavicle to the center line of the body at the sternum, there's only one way the human body could ever work. No possible opinion to ever have. And that's why In the Image Clothing Company is, always has been, and always will be huge and successful, because we're not trying to gain anything, really. I mean, we're just here to help, change lives, do a lot of cool things as the community that we are. With some beautiful dogs. I forgot he was here. In a good way. I say that because he's that good of a dog. And so it doesn't really matter if I'm trying to keep an eye on him all the time. He'll stay right by me. That's awesome. That's awesome. He's amazing. Credit to Dante. Credit to God. Jesus Christ in all truth. I mean, that's amazing. So the foot. We haven't talked about it all that much yet, other than giving a lot of good context on getting to it. The foot and the hip, they're just the same thing. The right foot and the hip. We've got these different length toes, but we've also got ropes introduced to the body. Shoelaces, drawstrings, anything though, around the waist, around anywhere of the body at all, around the hood of a top. You tie anything that you could call anything, you could put in a knot, one side over the other on the body, and you twist the entire body, okay? And the whole body's in a twist. Once you've twisted the entire body by placing a rope around it, we don't know what you don't know. You don't know what I don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We can't be held accountable for what we don't know. You can't really be held accountable for trying to train people's bodies to do something if you don't know that a rope is twisting their entire body. So no matter how much exercise you get them to do, it'll never overcome a physical knot. We just have to keep our ropes that we place on the body placed on the body the only way the human body could ever possibly physically, mechanically operate across the earth. It's just a mechanical machine. No opinion to anything that we do under In the Image Clothing Company if it aligns with truth. I mean, it's not our choices, okay? But there's physics, there's mechanics, there's God in the beginning and always. There's truth only. Mathematics, measurements of the angles and bends of things throughout the body to just oppose Earth's gravity's pull. Okay? Shoelaces and drawstrings are some of the biggest things, two of the biggest things. In the Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique, one of our two prerequisites, in addition to where we just discuss clothing sits for every body. Okay, everyone has a body. Every body has one. The top of the feet, dorsiflexion, lifting the toes, that's half their function. That's the shoelaces. The other half, sure, we think about often as human beings from the neutral, pointing the toes, plantar flexion, that's the sole or the bottom of the shoe. But you don't need the bottom of the shoe unless you also have the top of the shoe. There's two sides to it or it doesn't happen. Just walking, the natural human gait cycle. You lift the toes, you point the toes. You lift the toes, you point the toes, you walk, you know, and you have to have both sides or you have neither side. Blunt, bold, raw, and real in the Image Clothing Company. The wind noise, the surrounding sounds. It is what it is, you know? It's just truth. It's just what it is. As long as it's truth, you know, I couldn't claim it, but I can understand it. If I can understand it, see, and I do, I get it, we'll talk about it, we're talking about it. I've been doing this for 15 months as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. I'm in this for life. Is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, spoken by me, okay? The winds of change, bro. Foundational documentations, just another date-marked documentation, I say, under In the Image Clothing Company, right? Forever. Every video we do under the gift of video. We do so much under the gift of video, under In the Image Clothing Company. There's four sides to us. The foot is the hip. The winds tend to blow. Okay. The winds of change. So, zero drop shoes, the bottom of the foot. In the Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique, the top of the foot. If we're tying our shoes and rotating them to one direction, tying a right-handed knot on both feet, when the feet oppose the center line of the body, gripping inward. We need to be even, okay? Or let's say you tie it the other way, you're left-handed and you tie a left-handed knot on both feet. Well, right? Whether it's a right-handed knot on both feet or it's a left-handed knot on both feet, there's just two sides to the body, okay? In the Image Clothing Company shoelace technique, included with it, we just show tying the shoes evenly over toward the center line of the body. I didn't do it till I was 24 years old. So getting out of chronic patterning and scar tissue, what we really do under In the Image Clothing Company's main site here, that's what I've been dealing with, you know, for the past couple years at least. It's been a lot. Not a walk in the park, but also never be the same. 2 episodes of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, those are the titles, okay, and that's the case. Windy, I get it, windy, I get it. I get it, okay? So we have feet. They have to be evenly opposing the center line. We get into chronic patterning in scar tissue, okay? Scar tissue builds up in the body, but what happens and how this happens really is things like oversized clothing, putting our shoulders in an oversized top at one end of their neutral, okay? And there's only a neutral. There's only one way the human body could ever work. Imbalances in clothing of any kind, it doesn't matter what it is, where it is on the body, placed onto the body with it just having neutrals to things, anything that's not allowing that neutral to be there, rotated clothing, In the Image Clothing Company's rotated seam modification. We give a lot of free modifications in clothing to allow the body to work. You would never have to purchase In the Image Clothing Company clothing to allow your body to work. You would never have to purchase In the Image Clothing Company dog products to let your dog stay natural. We'll just have every intent that we can to take all of our knowledge of what we know and our understandings, which is deep and thorough. You don't have to believe us. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos as of today's date discussing this. You know we know what we're saying because we're saying it and we know it. Yeah, there you go, okay? But free modifications, yeah, we give a lot of them, you know, like the clothing I'm wearing. I'm not wearing any In the Image Clothing Company clothing. As of today's date, the 29th of December 2025, it still doesn't even exist yet. And I've still gotten out of chronic patterning and scar tissue to the degree that I have in these past couple of years. You know, at least, especially, right, saying since the founding of In the Image Clothing Company by me, Evan Strong, I am the founder. Everything that I've done, I've just done it through other people's clothing designs that I've modified, because you have to modify so many things in modern day. Tags in clothing, our second prerequisite under In the Image Clothing Company, in addition to where clothing sits to not alter the body. The first one, right, In the Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique. The only way the top of the feet are mechanically shaped, there is only one way the feet work. And then secondly, removing all tags from clothing. Tags just are new, only decades old, tens of years back from today's date. They started putting tags into clothing. It became a legal thing. A lot of the reason as to why was because of these unnatural materials they started making clothing out of, and people were having reactions to it, and it was damaging the body. The epidermis is a video I filmed yesterday with Dante under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company here. The epidermis is the skin of the body, and if we place something onto the skin of the body, like a topical cream placed on top of the body, it soaks into the body. Like clothing we place on top of the body, it soaks into the body. Unnatural, artificial, synthetic, synonyms with fake. These are fake things in our clothing. All of a sudden I'm screaming about it, you know? Anyway, artificial things in our food, you know? Because we talk about eating, sleeping, standing, walking, sitting, breathing, hydration, everything. The goal is natural, and so we've got things placed on our bodies that soak into our bodies and damage our bodies, and so the tags are labels in clothing to let you know that there's unnatural things in here that could potentially be harmful for you, but we've told you at least. The tag in itself is a synthetic material almost always at this time period, okay? At this time, period, you know, I mean, as well, yeah, that's crazy. Dante, you're beautiful. He's just sitting there, well, he's laying there, just looking out over the mountainside over there. He put his head back down, he's so awesome. Okay, what we have is a lot of things causing the body to get into patterning. Scar tissue gets built up when the body's not working normally, but it's working within a patterning, okay? Limits and ranges of motion and just alteration to the body builds up scar tissue, builds up bone spurs, where the bones, where the, you know, the connection from the muscle through a tendon is. The bones get pulled on and the body gets damaged. There's only one way the human body could ever work. Ropes introduced to the body, like shoelaces or drawstrings, are one of the biggest things. So, even shoe tying, okay? In the Image Clothing Company shoelace technique, as well as just tying shoes evenly. Always stop laces at ankle flexion, right? The angle of the ankle, okay? The importance of quiet clothing, the importance of short shoelaces. Videos under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company. Here you go. Take it. I'm giving all my secrets away, and the winds are changing. The winds have changed. The winds have changed. It wasn't as windy at the beginning of this video. The foot is the hip, okay? We've got this rope. Look at the rope. See the rope? Watch the rope. Black on white, white on black. Opposition in all things. Equal human beings. Woo! He's a preacher. Truly, in the Image Clothing Company podcast, I preach, literally. I deliver sermons on the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what it's for, okay? That fourth of In the Image Clothing Company, In the Image Clothing Company podcast. There's only one way the human body could ever work. Watch the rope. Watch the side seams of my pants. Side seams of the pants need to sit right at the sides of the hips. Okay? Right at the sides of the hips. Side seams of the pants sit. The rope is right at the side seam of the pant, give or take. It's pretty close. The point is gravity. Look at this. Neutral. Can you train to it? No, it's impossible. Okay? You can't train to a center of gravity. It's impossible. No matter what you think, it's impossible. I don't have an opinion on this. It's not my choice. It's impossible to train the human body to get it to do anything. It's gravity, okay? It's impossible to train it, the human body, to get it to do anything. It is impossible to train the human body to get it to do anything. No new information, the truth since God. Not my choice. It's the truth since God. This is the truth since God, always, okay? Third time that I've said it is the truth, though. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Okay? Watch gravity pull on this rope as the wind slightly blows it around. Side seam of the pants. The outside of the hip. Man, the winds. Okay? The side seam of the pants is the outside of the ankle. It is the outside of the hip. The foot is the hip is the foot. The right foot has rotations that are the right hip's rotations, okay? Neutral, pinky toe straight forward, internal rotation, back to neutral, external rotation, okay? The right foot is the right hip. The right foot is the right hip. The right hip is the right foot. We live in a right-handed world. We live in right-handed patternings often as human beings. The foot arch grips inward. We've got different length toes. We roll evenly off the end of our different length toes. The pinky toe points straight forward. Picture a golf swing. Okay? I don't golf, and so don't critique my form, but just to see the motion of the mechanics of the body to swing something like this. Here you are centered. Earth's gravity. You've got a stick in your hand. We call it a golf club. Okay? Wow. Watch the follow through of my right foot. Watch the internal. Okay, look. Ready? Internal rotation. Watch the internal rotation of my right foot. If I take a golf club or just a stick and I swing it, and I follow through, the foot is the hip. The right foot, it's the right hip. The right foot's the right hip. The right foot's the right hip. Internal rotation, okay? Internal rotation from the neutral. External rotation from the neutral. You swing a golf club. I'm not a golfer necessarily, but as you swing a golf club, listen to the Kia drive by. Shout out to the brand Kia. Listen to the Ford Bronco drive by. Shout out to the brand Ford. You swing a golf club, okay? You follow through. You internally rotate your right foot, which is your right hip. Oh, look at my different length toes. They're still on the ground. Different length toes. Big toe. The middle toe, the big toe, it's the longest. The outer toe, the pinky toe, it's the shortest. This is neutral, actually, this follow through. Look at this. I'm just walking evenly off the end of my different length toes. The feet just slightly roll in. There's only one way the human body could ever work. You see people in modern day with their feet sticking out. External rotation from the neutral. Let's do it like this. From the neutral, and then there's internal rotation from there. Look at this. See how this works? See how the body's just a mechanical machine placed onto a rock in space? It's called Earth. There's just a neutral. Watch my follow through. Internal rotation, okay? Shout out to Chevrolet, the brand. There's a Tahoe, unless it might be a Suburban. Internal rotation. The foot is the hip. You got tight hips. If you don't have natural internal rotation in your foot, you'll have tight hips. If you don't have natural internal rotation in your foot. If you don't have the ability to roll off the ends of your different length toes evenly, you'll never have internal rotation in your foot. If you don't use In the Image Clothing Company shoelace technique, nothing to do with us, but it's just the only way the top of the feet are shaped. yeah, then you're just gonna alter your feet, and you alter your hips. The feet are the hips, the right foot and the hip, the right foot and the hip, the right foot and the hip. Watch my follow through, okay? Golfers, how am I doing? Don't tell me, I don't care, I don't care. I don't care. You can golf, but I don't care, personally. Watch this. Internal rotation at the right foot is internal rotation of the right hip. The winds have changed. The foot is the hip, the right foot and the hip. The right foot and the hip. We have different length toes, okay? We have to just have our body work the only way it does. Watch the rope. The point is, the hip's going where the foot's going. You can see it with the rope because it just happens like that. I mean, watch this. Okay, just meaning no matter where you go, your foot is your hip. Watch the rope. That's what the point of the rope is. Okay. Shout out to this rope. It's 100% cotton. The goal is natural. Dante's slip lead here is 3 of these ropes just woven together. I made it for him. Dante's slip lead. Natural. Homemade. A gift for my boy. Really. I mean it. Okay. The right foot and the hip. The right foot and the hip. The foot has to come in to internally rotate. But guess what? The foot has to come in to roll evenly off the ends of our different length toes. Anyway, just a normal walk, the foot has to roll in. Okay? Otherwise, the whole body's damaged to the tip of the head and the tips of the fingers. The foot has to roll in. I'll wait for the Ford Bronco to continue to drive past a little farther for the sake of the audio, even though the wind's blowing, you know. He did it. He did it. He explained something in a way that nobody could possibly think he has an opinion on it. Right? There's only one way the human body could ever work. Don't agree with me? It's the truth. The different length toes, though, in order to just evenly roll off the different length toes, the foot has to roll in. If our center of gravity is shifted outside of our body's center line, I'm getting louder, then the foot can't roll in. The foot's a lever. It hinges on the ankle at the rear of the foot. The toes are on the end of the foot, okay? The other end from the ankle, which is the lever. The extensor hallucis longus muscle and the shoelaces, really it's not and the, but just the extensor hallucis longus muscle and shoelaces. A video under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company. Check it out. That's all I'm going to say on it right now, just to reference it. Okay, under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company here. So, different length toes. We put even pressure off our different length toes. They're different lengths. The feet roll inward, naturally. They have to support the body and grip and arch inward from the outside of the foot in, just because you have to start at the outside to pull in. The pinky toes being the shortest just have to hit the ground. Keeping heels on the ground. The importance of zero drop shoes. Videos under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company here. Okay? There you go, production, right? It's done. We will say what we say in here, but that's all I would need to say for you to know what I'm saying. I don't have an opinion. That's why I'm so bold. Okay? There's only one way the human body could ever work. We have different length toes. If your toes cannot continue to be straight forward from the pinky, your hips are damaged. The right foot and the hip. If you have weight on your right side of your body more than on the left side of your body, rotated seams in clothing. That'll just rotate your body off to the right side. Now your center of gravity is off to the right side. Your center of gravity, rotated clothing, and Earth's gravity. That's a video under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company here. There's only one way the human body could ever work. And it will, within our own situations, unless we place things on it that alter it and don't allow the body to work. Check it out. It's impossible to train the human body to get it to do anything. My hands are cold. If we have weight outside of our center line, The foot, hinging at the lever system that is our ankle, will have to rotate out just to support us on Earth's gravity. Okay? It just is what it is. We have different length toes. That's something most people don't even think about. And sure, you don't know what you don't know. That's fine. But it's the truth. And the truth is, if you weave a rope across the top of your feet, there's only one way you'll shape it. The way that the bones connecting to bones through ligaments and the muscles connecting to the bones through tendons, with just that thin layer of cushioning between the bones or cartilage to allow everything to track in line, the only way it could actually work, you know, I mean, in the feet, there's only one way you can weave a rope across the top of that. Shaped that way. There's only one way the feet are shaped. That's a video as well. Title under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company here. It is, yes. I mean, I've been working, man. I'm in this for life. There's only truth to everything. Ever, always, and only. That's it. God is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is God is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast. There's only one way the feet work, okay? Okay, there's only one way. The feet are the hips, though. Pants sit entirely above the hips at what's called our natural waist. I didn't name it. Natural waist. The goal is natural under all four sides of In the Image Clothing Company. Above the hip bones, but below the lowest ribs. That's where we bend side to side at the spine. You cannot, and I can tell you that, you cannot bend side to side at your hips without a leg coming off the ground. We bend side to side at the waist. The pants sit above the hips, above the bones of the hips. The spine and the center bend side to side. Okay, the hips don't bend side to side. They don't. They bend front to back. The spine bends side to side as well as front to back. Okay. At the vertebrae of the spine, in the center line of the body, okay, a lot of little bones stacking to create what we call the spine. Those bones are called vertebrae. There's only one way they connect. There's only one way they are shaped. There's only one way the human body could ever work. It's physically, mechanically, legitimately, in all actuality, just seriously, in all senses of what it can mean, impossible to train the human body to get it to do anything. It's impossible. It is impossible. You have to, and only ever could possibly allow your body to work. Nothing to do with me. It's God. Okay? Who's he yelling at? Nobody around. Dante? Hi. He whipped his head up so quick. Good boy. Okay, so that's funny. He loves it. He loves just basking out here in the 30-degree Fahrenheit weather. It's pretty cold, you know, relatively, but you know, he's just laid out so calmly. And the sun's out nice, you know. It's very common for Utah to have just clear blue skies most of the year, you know, at least. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Living up Utah. Just out here screaming about some stuff. Oh, shoot. It's eternal. This is truth forever. This is truth before I was born. This is truth for my grandkids, great-great-grandkids. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ. This is not my opinion, so I'm going to scream about it. You don't have to care. But it applies to you and it's affecting you. You don't have to care about clothing if it's placed on you imbalanced. Well, there's only one way your body works, and I can tell you that regardless of how different you think you are. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe in anything. There's only truth to life. The foot is the hip, okay? We're hinging on the lever of the ankle that's straight down from the hip, okay? Watch the rope, you know, that's the point of the rope. Hear me through the wind noise. You can hear me well enough to hear the words in this, okay? I know that. I know that. And if not, read my lips. In all truth, okay? There's only one way the human body could ever work. In the Image Clothing Company won't always look quite like this, by the way. But once I've documented something, I've documented it, and it's done. It's there permanently, date marked under the gift of video. The 29th of December 2025, today, the right foot and the hip. Here you go. There you go. A lot of discussion in here. Everyone forever can glean biblical terms there, okay? The Holy Bible, glean information from this, because you kind of have to glean it. You kind of have to like really dig through it, through the wind noise, if you see what I mean. I get it, but it's here. It's been done, and I'm in this for life. This is what's allowing me to have this be successful forever. In the Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, as the founder, is these documentations, even through the wind noise, okay? This is what makes us credible. The congruency. We've been saying the same thing since the founding. I guess that's my cue. I'll show you this. This was my tripod for this. Okay. And look, we have this like little Utah looking thing. This is very Utah, okay? People who lived here natively, right? Back when Utah was what it was, before it is what it is. That's how I'm gonna say that. Okay. You know, these kind of like paintings and drawings were very common to have on red rocks. You know, and this is cool because I get the wind, I do get it, but this is more like what it's like down in St. George, Utah. Red rock, sandstone, true desert. But even up here in Utah County, we've got this kind of rock where we do. This is Spanish Fork Canyon, Utah. This is where Dante has just been laying, looking out over the beauty that surrounds. Okay. Anyway, the camera falling, that was my cue to cut this. That's the context that we need, and I am so grateful to God, Jesus the Christ, for the ability for me to speak all of this the way that I am able to speak all of this. And that's the point, is it is truly an eternal documentation. These are pieces of truth that will never change, that I didn't and couldn't decide and apply to every human to ever live, no matter how different you think your body is. It's about Earth's gravity. It's about the fact that the human body is just a kinetic chain. Anytime you ever try to address your hips, it's your feet. Anytime you ever try to address your feet, it's your hips. We live in a right-handed world. The right side is really what gets bound up. Okay. Shout out to Dante. Today's our 2-week anniversary. Truly. Well, and what's cool about that is it's actually kind of half and half. 1 week I was fostering him, and then the second week I actually, have had with him since I adopted him. Okay, so I love you, dude, and he knows. Oh, he knows. Look how pretty he is, though. He's a beautiful doggy. Anyway, in the Image Clothing Company music, another one of our fourths, we show sizing and setup of guitar to not alter the body, to keep that neutral wrist in the wrist. The rounding in our hands that correlates with the arches in our feet. We talk about fingernails and toenails just in all aspects of life, fully to the tips of the fingers or the toes, cut relatively flat on the tips. We don't roll out of the neutral ankle position or the neutral wrist, right? The neutral height of the gripped arch, the height of a gripped arch. A video under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company here. Yes, okay. I've been working, man, by the way. So, what we have is the need to back our fingers and toes with, that's a tick. Shoot, that really is, that's a tick. A tick is a little blood-sucking insect. The reason I say that is because Dante's been laying on this ground. That's a tick. They're really small. I don't know, I guess maybe I'll try to show it if I can. I'm pretty certain at least that that's a tick.
It's on the top side of this leaf. That's what just fell. Anyway, regardless, it is what it is. It's just, you know, tick checking a dog with this much hair is harder than just tick checking your skin. You know. Anyway, that's a point though. You know, you don't want, like, I mean, it's like, it's a parasite essentially. You know, you don't want that just sucking the blood of Dante without me knowing it's even there. He could get sick and just, you know, not feel very good. And I wouldn't really know if I didn't see it under all of his hair. The toenails, they have to be long enough to support and back the toes to grip and arch properly and cut relatively flat. Otherwise, we just won't stay in that neutral position. It'll just be very, very, very hard to. It just pretty much won't happen. Okay. Otherwise. And so that's the point. Like I say, we just don't know what we don't know. But that's what we're here to do as in the Image Clothing Company is give all of our secrets away. You know, just give the truth freely. And then sell products that you can choose to buy and just do events with people, poodle parade events here in the state of Utah, the United States of America, wherever else we branch out into, because once Dante and I moved down to St. George, we're just minutes away driving distance from Arizona and Nevada, the states. We'll go wherever we do, but living up Utah is really our focus, okay, location-wise. Bring your poodles any size, purebred or mixed, to poodle parade events, subcategories like clean the creek or rid the rubbish, to do things for the environment of this beautiful planet of ours. I yell about it. I'm not mad. I'm crazy. Okay, so thank you. Bye.